National Central University is dedicated to creating an environmentally friendly green campus. The university takes the pine as its spiritual symbol. The main campus in Nanjing has a millennium-old 6th Dynasty pine, which has withstood the test of time and still stands proudly, symbolizing the enduring spirit of the NCU. As you enter the main gate of National Central University, you will be greeted by a row of pine trees. Along the campus roads, there is a 2-kilometer-long pine forest pathway. Walking along the pine forest pathway, you can hear the sound of the pine needles rubbing against each other, creating the beautiful pine wave effect. The exterior of the Grand Hall in NCU is designed in the shape of a pine cone, symbolizing the cultivation and transmission of knowledge. From a distance, the grand trunks and delicate pine needles of the towering pine trees are truly breathtaking. However, upon closer inspection, you may notice that the color of the pine needles is not the brilliant green, but rather a mottled reddish brown. What could be happening to these towering pine trees? Pine trees, like humans, can fall ill. They are especially susceptible to infestations by pine wood nematodes and Japanese pine sawyer during summer. Afflicted pine trees harbor a significant population of pine wood nematodes. These nematodes are attracted to the scent emitted during the pupation of Japanese pine sawyer and tend to gather near the pupation chambers. As the beetles undergo emergence, the nematodes enter the beetles' bodies. When the beetles leave the diseased pine trees, the nematodes can also parasitize beetles that haven't been infested by pine wood nematodes through pine sawyer mating. When these pine sawyer beetles feed on healthy pine trees, the nematodes exit the beetles and enter new pine trees through the wounds caused by feeding, leading to pine tree infections. The progression of infection in pine trees involves 4 stages, starting with a reduction and gradually a cessation of pine resin secretion. The second stage witnesses a decrease in the pine tree's transpiration. The third stage involves the wilting and yellowing of needles, and the final stage sees the needles turning reddish-brown, ultimately in the death of the pine tree. At the onset of summer, pine trees infected by pine wood nematodes may appear outwardly healthy, but at the end of summer, they experience a rapid decline leading to withering and death. The key indicator of a diseased pine tree is to see whether its needles turn into reddish-brown color. The transmission of pine wood nematodes involves interaction among the nematodes themselves, the Japanese pine sawyer, and the host pine trees. Firstly, pine wood nematodes go through 4 stages in their life cycle: J1, J2, J3, J4, and adulthood. They feed on the epithelial cells and resin canals in pine trees and fungi near the pupation chambers of pine sawyer beetles. Next, the Japanese pine sawyer lay eggs on wilted pine trees. The eggs hatch on the tree, and the larvae enter a pupal stage. After pupation, the fungi released by the pupation chamber attract nematodes, which enter the beetle's body as it undergoes metamorphosis. When pine trees are bitten by nematodes-carrying beetles, symptoms of wilting begin to appear approximately 3 to 4 weeks later. In an effort to resist wilting, pine trees exhibit responses such as the production of superoxide anions, an increase in peroxidized lipids, the accumulation of polyphenols, and the release of volatile gases. Initially, when a pine tree is infected with pine wood nematodes, it produces superoxide anions, leading to a sharp increase in internal peroxidized lipids. The nematode infection causes the release and diffusion of lipids and ions into the surrounding woody tissues, resulting in a dysfunction of the pit membrane. While the plant attempts to defend itself, polyphenolic substances accumulate in the wounded plant tissues, ultimately leading to the emission of volatile gases. These defense mechanisms were originally intended to prevent the spread of nematodes within the plant, but due to the rapid movement of nematodes, the plant's defense mechanisms end up harming its own tissues, ultimately leading to the death of the tree. In conclusion, the interconnection of nematodes, Japanese pine sawyer, and pine trees forms a cycle. Initially, beetles carrying J4-stage nematodes appear on dead pine trees. When these beetles feed on healthy pine trees, some nematodes take the opportunity to migrate to the pine trees. Once inside the plant, nematodes grow and reproduce within the pine tree. As nematodes reproduce and grow, the pine tree gradually exhibits wilting symptoms, attracting beetles to lay eggs in the pine tree. After the beetle larvae transform into pupae, the gases released by the pupation chamber attract fungi, which serve as food for the nematodes. Consequently, many J3-stage nematodes also gather in this vicinity. When the beetle larvae emerge from the pupation chamber, the J4-stage nematodes can enter the beetle's body, creating a death cycle that contributes to the demise of the pine tree. There are various methods for controlling pine wood nematodes diseases, such as arrow spraying, ground spraying, and trunk injection. National Central University mainly applies the trunk injection method, where 750 ml of nematicidal agent is poured into a drip bag and injected into the pine tree. The injection is performed approximately every 2 weeks and continues for 2 months, aiming to reduce the vulnerability of pine trees to pest infestations and allowing them to reabsorb soil nutrients. Due to the mild toxicity of the injected agent, warning labels are affixed to caution the public against contact. In case of accidental contact, individuals are advised to rinse thoroughly with a large amount of water.